Hello and welcome to another video on Python Essentials. So we took a look at how to create a function that provides the highest common factor the last time. Let's now look at how to give the lowest common multiple between two numbers. Which is to say, if we use the defined function, once again, we say LCM to have the lowest common multiple between number 1 and number 2. Once again, to begin with, we can find out which is the minimum number. Say we call it A, and we call the maximum as B. So if we're talking about the multiple of any two numbers, let's say 40 and 72. So if you just multiply the two numbers, if there's nothing common between these two numbers, then you would actually have the product of these two numbers as the lowest common multiple. But if they do have common factors, what we can do is run through the list of multiples of the larger number, because the larger number becomes the defining criteria, and you'd have a smaller list. 72 times whatever number is getting you to the lowest common multiple, it would be smaller than what you would need for 40 to get to that number. So what we'll do is use a for loop for I in range of the smaller number. So we start at 1, and A is our smaller number in this case. So we're talking about going up to A plus 1 in the range. And so what we're going to do is, beginning at 1, we're going to multiply each and every number by the larger number, which is to say B times I. And using the modulo operator, we divide this by A to see if it is perfectly divisible. In other words, this multiple of B is also a multiple of A. That is what this if function is checking. If so, we define the LCM as that number, B times I, or the maximum of the two numbers times I. So basically, if we have running through 72 times 1, 72 times 2, or the larger number times a few numbers over here. If it's not going to meet, we are just going back to the for loop and increasing the value of I by 1, right? At which point, if we do come across a point where you're peaking at 40 itself, right? So if there is no common factors at all between 40 and 72, okay? For instance, if this was a 35, 35 is 5 times 7, neither 5 nor 7 divide 72. So you will actually end up going all the way to this value of A, and your LCM would be B times A. If not, if there are common values, say between 40 and 72, or any other two numbers which do have common factors, we would stop somewhere short, and we would need to break it right here so that it does not go to the higher multiples of the large number, right? So at this point, we come back, we exit the for loop, we're breaking the if loop and exiting the for loop by coming back with this indentation. And we say print LCM, or we could also say LCM is equal to LCM. Just say return LCM, right? Fine. Let's try getting the LCM of 40 and 72 now. Okay, so we have 360, which if you look at 72, it's 72 times 5, and 40 times 9 is giving us 360, right? We can check that for any other number. There we go. 90 times 8 is 720, 144 times 5. So this is how we have defined the LCM function.